Hello everyone, I'm making this tutorial so that other people can manage to write dots and bars slash overlines above different letters using the Microsoft Word and the Field editor. Basically, this tutorial is divided in two different parts. The first one will be using the normal method recommended in various different forums on internet, and the other is a not so known one, but it can also cover every single other aspect which the first doesn't manage to. Basically, also there is a need for some previous information. In the first moment, it's important to remember the following codes, be it by using the keyboard or the symbol options inside Word. So to create what is called the combining dot above, we have to write down 0307 followed by the short key Alt plus X. And this should create what is the dot above the letters, for example. Also, to create the combining macron, what we have to write down is this following command 0304 followed by the short key Alt plus X. And also the combining overline, all we have to do is write down 0305 followed by Alt plus X. This is basically the method to create those kind of symbols, but we also have a different way to generate, for example, those kinds of symbols. Basically, we go here on the Insert tab on Microsoft Word, we go to the symbol options, more symbols, and we choose the subset of combining diacritical marks. Here we have access to these characters and many others that we can combine, for example, together with a letter. Here is the combining macron, here is the combining overline, and here is the combining dot above. Also in this window, it shows the character code which we can use together with the Alt plus X option. Very well. So when we use those characters right after or right beside a letter, for example, the letter O, we can transform and combine those two characters to generate a single one. For example, if I want to have the dot above the letter O, all I've gotta do is simply digit the code right beside it, 0307, and use the short key Alt plus X, and it should generate the desired character. The problem with this is the normal method, is that some letters and some characters, they are not available, for example, in a Microsoft font, for example, Times New Roman. If I try to do the same, for example, with the letter A, it should show a square box, right? Which represents that this character may not exist within this font. Many other letters also can generate this kind of problem. So in order to overcome this kind of situation, we also have the opportunity to work with the field editor from Microsoft Word. Basically, we open a by using the command Ctrl plus F9 from your keyboard, and it should open these following brackets. So to do that, to write a dot above a letter A, for example, all we have to do is write down the following: EQ followed by backslash O followed by opening parentheses, and basically here we're going to write First, the letter we want to have with a dot above, for example, the letter A, followed by a separator. In our case, where I'm using a separator, as a semicolon, but it can also be a comma, a dot, a colon, or semicolon in your Microsoft Word. So we have to test every single possibility, or maybe some different separator. And after that, we write down the code or just insert it, the code we wish. In this case, I can use, for example, here on the symbols and choose the combining dot above, or use the shortcut command 0307 followed by Alt X. After that, all we gotta do is just close the parentheses, and to make it visible as a letter, we have to use the command Alt plus F9. So using the command right now, it should return the desired option or the desired character. Alternatively, we can use the right button from the mouse and just activate the option toggle field codes. The same can be done again to open the equation or the field editor. Also, to do another example, for example, writing a macron above the letter A, all we gotta do is use the Control F9, write down E key from equation, space, backslash O, followed by parentheses, which we can use the command. In this case, it's 0304, Alt X, and closing the parentheses, it should return what we want. In the last case, we can also do the same, which with the overline option, writing e key backslash O, space A separator, and 0305 followed by Alt X, closing parenthesis, it should return the desired effect. So one problem that we can have, for example, in this case, is when the letter, or maybe the letter in which we want to write the overline, for example, or the dot above, is higher than the dot itself. We can try to work around by changing the font size. For example, I can write down the field editor, EQ backslash O, opening parentheses, and this time I'm going to use the capital letter A and the dot above option 0307 Alt plus X. Sorry. So if I simply close the parentheses and use the command Alt F9, it shouldn't show, for example, the dot in the letter. However, to change it back to normal, using the Alt F9 to open the field, we can simply choose, for example, everything except the letter A, and change the size. For example, I'm changing it to the size of font 20 and returning to view, and it should, for example, show the new character. That's an alternative we can have, for example, in this case. If we click with the right mouse button in the letter or the field, we can edit it directly through this window. which also shows a lot of different options we can use. And basically that's it. In this case, we can, for example, make it higher, even higher, so that it can show better in the letter. But that's general forms so that we can have the dots or a line above a letter. Also, we can also access in the Microsoft site a list of field codes in Word. In this case, we were using the EQ function or EQ field, which I believe it stands for equation, and it shows a list of different syntaxes available for us to use in many cases. For example, if I go for the over over slash x option, we have the option to create a box, but only the top part of it, which you could, for example, represent a overline in your case. And that's an alternative we can have in order to have those kind of characters. So guys, basically that was it from the tutorial. Any questions you can make in the comments, I'll try to read. I'll try to help you guys in any way I can. And I see you later then.